do a little something.
Grassroots. 1971.
There's nothing like the grassroots to take it up another level. I happened to go upstairs and I ran across this book on 2012. What do you know? The author is Lawrence Joseph. It's called A Scientific Investigation into Civilization's End. Well, isn't that interesting? If I'm going to end, I think I'd like to know a little bit about it. We have to keep a healthy view as we're looking at something like this, right?
That's for sure.
Otherwise, why is that any different than believing what the televangelists say is the correct interpretation of certain chapters of Daniel and Revelation? So let's see what this says. Oh my goodness. Chapter 4. Well, if it isn't hellfire's burning, didn't I just say? Fundamentalist view of the end. So this might be something interesting. I'll read it until it doesn't make sense, okay?
That shouldn't take long.
Makes sense, I mean, for the time that we're in, the space and time that we're holding right now. As we bobbed in a boat in a cove in the harbor of Jaime in southwestern Iceland, Jolly, the captain, beseeched God's mercy for 20 minutes, begging that we might survive. We're about to set out for Surtsey, the youngest island in the world, named for the giant in Icelandic mythology who keeps the hellfires burning. Interesting. When Surtsey emerged on November 14th of 63, the ocean boiled. Winchester Cathedral. Good one. This is Genesis song called Undertow, which is interesting. This song, I was talking about, if we have 7,500 days left and we're right about this, year 2012, we're all going to take off. This song is about, what would you do if this were the last day of your life? So, the crew of a fishing boat in the area was too busy with their nets to notice anything, until a great black column rose out of the water, blotting out the horizon off the bow. 4 more years of volcanic eruptions formed the pudgy, half-square mile teardrop, which ever since has refused to submerge, despite being in one of the stormiest places on Earth, with more than 200 gale force days annually and waves up to 85 feet high. From its birth, Surtsey was set aside as an ecological preserve, completely off-limits to tourists, with no permanent structures of any kind, including docks or even moorings, permitted. It had taken me a year to get all the permissions to visit, and this after having been personally invited by Iceland's president. But when Jolly finished praying and then blew his trumpet to let Gabriel know we might be seeing him soon, I wondered aloud whether we shouldn't just putt-putt around the harbor for a while and agree among ourselves that the Surtsey trip had been, well, beyond words. My assignment was to write a magazine piece about how Surtsey developed an ecosystem, how a steaming hunk of lava rocks surrounded by salt water comes alive. Bird droppings in a nutshell. I understood from the research that ocean-going birds eat fish and then poop on the island, providing fertile spots for seeds blown in the wind or washed up from the ocean surface. Sea sandwort, a tenacious green succulent with white and yellow flowers, is usually the first colonizer because its hammock-like structure traps the sand that the plant's roots need to keep from being blown away by the fierce ocean winds. All in all, quite interesting, but not worth perishing at sea. Snorri, the naturalist assigned as my guide, confirmed that Jolly was the only captain experienced enough to land safely at Surtsey and advised me to overlook the fact that his other boat had been smashed to fiberglass bits on the jagged shoreline. All hands, after all, had survived. Besides, added Snorri, a Christian fundamentalist,
I never returned to this text,
is
by the way.
bound to be better than this one. The coincidences here really making me think otherwise, but
say it, baby.
Day of my life,
My friend.
tell me, what do you think you would do then? The problem I have with a lot of Christian fundamentalist views is, there's a lack of appreciation for the now. It's like, okay, I'm done here. Let's get rid of this crap. Let's move on to just, me and Jesus. I don't think so. And I think it's, certain verses that have been left over in the Bible, like, you have to hate your own life before you're going to save it, that, become like these massive monoliths that run the dogma of fundamentalism, so that people think they're doing God a favor by hating the beauty he created. And, this is the process that he created, he, she, however you want to look at God.
Preach it, baby.
This is the process that was created for our development. So to hate it would be a horrible disgrace and expression of disrespect.